Tesla and SpaceX confirmed a $16.8 billion first phase for the Terafab chip plant that will target more annual AI compute output than the entire planet currently produces. This is Tesla Shorts Time, episode 564. The companies plan the largest chip manufacturing facility ever on the Grimes County site. Output is targeted at over 1 terawatt of annual AI compute. Both Tesla and SpaceX need far more chips than current global production can supply. The prototype phase alone requires an estimated $119 billion in total investment. Full build-out is projected between $5 trillion and $13 trillion. Terafab AI compute output is planned at roughly 25% for Tesla Optimus and 75% for AI spacecraft. The first phase investment is expected to create over 3,000 new jobs in the initial year. The fully built-out complex is projected to cover up to 10 million square meters, roughly 11 times larger than Giga Texas. Yesterday's announcement marks the first concrete step beyond the research fab already under construction on the North Campus of Giga Texas. This scale of new compute infrastructure connects directly to how that compute will eventually power vehicles on the road. Teslarati shared interior images of the Tesla Cybercab. The passenger cabin shows no steering wheel or pedals. This design confirms the vehicle's intended unsupervised robotaxi focus. The minimalist layout centers on passenger space rather than driver controls. Production timing and regulatory approval for driverless service remain the main open questions. No production start date or pricing details appeared in the post. While the Cybercab targets passenger service, another autonomous concept appeared alongside Optimus. Elon Musk shared footage of the Robovan concept mixed with renderings of the future Terafab campus. The vehicle features a boxy, windowed body suited for multiple passengers. The design appears aimed at autonomous mass transit use cases. The clip includes early glimpses of the planned Terafab complex. Current prototype elements sit alongside facility renderings in the same video. Shifting from future robotaxis and robovans brings us to current energy storage deployments already scaling. Tesla began Megapack 3 production at the new Brookshire Megafactory in Texas. The facility reached operation just 16 months after groundbreaking. It holds 50 gigawatt hours of dedicated annual capacity. A separate line handles the Megapack 3 variant. This adds substantial utility-scale storage at a time when grid operators are signing large battery contracts. Production start at this scale directly increases available supply for utility projects. New factory output is already feeding real projects, including one that just went live. A 500 megawatt-hour Tesla Megapack battery site is now operational in Texas. The installation supports grid stability in a single large deployment. Texas continues to see rapid additions of utility-scale storage as demand for flexible capacity grows. The project adds to the state's expanding network of Tesla Energy Systems. No customer name or exact location beyond Texas was disclosed in the report. While energy hardware scales steadily, supervised autonomy continues to show both progress and friction. An owner reported a supervised FSD near miss on a highway entry. The vehicle repeatedly swerved while unable to settle on a single route. The driver, experienced with the system since version 11, called it the first serious safety concern. The vehicle averaged conflicting route options before the driver intervened. No damage or contact occurred in the reported event. Domestic FSD challenges contrast with Tesla's push for broader regulatory approval. Tesla is seeking EU-wide approval for supervised full self-driving. The application covers all 27 member states. Dutch data secrecy rules add complexity for training data access. Approval would open a large new market for the feature. No timeline for a decision was provided in the filing summary. Regulatory hurdles for software sit alongside hardware production setbacks that have now eased. Cybertruck production at Giga Texas has resumed after a court ruling on tooling access. Inventory levels at the factory are rising again. The episode underscores how single supplier dependencies can still affect vehicle ramp timelines. The court decision cleared the path for immediate resumption of body and chassis assembly. No production rate figures were released in the coverage. Production stability for vehicles pairs with expanding third-party charging access. EVIO plans to build out 22 new Tesla supercharger locations. Each site will include 325 kilowatt and 500 kilowatt stalls. This expands the open access portion of the network in additional U.S. markets. Utilization data from these new locations will show how non-Tesla drivers adopt the chargers. No specific cities or timelines for individual openings were listed. Charging access supports adoption, which state incentives can further accelerate. California updated its $3,500 EV rebate rules. Several Tesla models qualify under the new income and price criteria. The program targets lower-income buyers. The rebate amount remains fixed at $3,500 for qualifying purchases. Exact model year cutoffs and income thresholds were detailed in the state guidance. Policy support for vehicles contrasts with competitive pressure in robotics. A Chinese robot maker plans a $9 billion IPO. The valuation focuses on lighter industrial and service roles. Volume manufacturing economics remain the central open question for both efforts. The firm has targeted applications different from Tesla's Optimus program to date. No direct head-to-head performance data was included in the valuation analysis. Competition in robotics returns us to the massive compute bet that underpins Optimus scale. Details on an older 300 storage megapack site in Texas have emerged. The installation adds to the growing list of utility-scale projects now live. Local deployment pace shows continued momentum for Tesla Energy outside vehicle sales. Connection timelines and expected output contribution were shared. No customer or utility partner name was released with the facts. Tesla rolled out a new Maps update across North America. The package includes revised street layouts, updated speed limits, and refreshed points of interest. Vehicles receive the changes through over-the-air delivery. Accurate mapping remains foundational for both navigation and supervised FSD performance. The update covers the United States, Canada, and Mexico in a single package. Now, one thing worth watching is the supervised FSD near miss reported by an owner on a highway entry. The vehicle repeatedly swerved while deciding whether to enter the highway, forcing manual intervention to avoid the median. The driver, experienced with versions since 11, described this as the first incident that raised serious safety concerns. Resolving inconsistent route choice behavior remains necessary before unsupervised operation can advance. The post notes the vehicle could not settle on a single path and oscillated between options. No regulatory filing or Tesla response has been issued yet. The decision to locate a multi-trillion-dollar semiconductor campus in Grimes County rests on a simple physical constraint. Orbital solar delivers roughly 5 times the energy density of ground-based arrays, while space itself provides free convective cooling. Placing the majority of Terafab's output into low Earth orbit satellites therefore sidesteps both land use limits and the massive water infrastructure that terrestrial AI clusters require. The remaining quarter of capacity reserved for terrestrial edge inference directly funds the scale of Optimus deployment Tesla has described. This allocation also changes the capital math because a conventional fab spreads its cost across consumer electronics and automotive chips with relatively predictable margins. Terafab's economics instead tie returns to 2 high uncertainty bets: the regulatory path for unsupervised autonomy on Earth and the launch cadence of AI satellites. The 3,000 jobs projected for the first phase already exceed the staffing of most modern semiconductor plants, even before Optimus robots handle construction and maintenance at full scale. Before we go, the next update on the Brookshire Megafactory output figures should clarify how quickly utility-scale contracts can be fulfilled. That covers it for today's Tesla developments. TSLA closed at $319.53, down $2.02, 0.6%. Share this episode with a fellow Tesla enthusiast if you found it useful, and subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's episode. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. Thanks for being here. Quick tip from the network, try the Do Positive Pod next. Good news in science and tech, plus one concrete action you can take. Every NARA Network show is free at naranetwork.com. Following the long arcs, story trackers on naranetwork.com follow major programs across episodes: Tesla, SpaceX, AI, space science, and more. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.